Okay, so I'm making cheeseburger soup. And this is the ground sirloin, and it's ground sirloin. There's a little bit of grease, but there's also like a rich beef broth bone, flavor. So it's going into the pot. All right, my pot is right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put that in. It would help if I had a spoon. Sure. Am I on? Yes, I am. Okay. All right, here's the ground sirloin is going in. Now, I have 3 big sweet onions, Vidalia or Texas sweet onions. I do 3, slice up 3 onions, and then I saute them. And what I do is I saute them in the same pan. I saute them in this pan. So I'm going to go saute them. And then I'll be back with the sauteed onions are going to go in here also. Then we're going to make a roux, okay? The bacon, okay, I made bacon earlier, and I will chop this up and get it ready, and we'll just use it for topping after we're done with the soup. So then you just put it on the top with some pepper or whatever. And it's just good cheeseburger. Bacon cheeseburger soup. All right, I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, so quick. I had to cube the government cheese or Velveeta, whichever you pick. It's the processed cheese, not the greatest cheese, but I use this cheese because it does taste good in soup, and well, my sister-in-law gave it to me, so I was like, half a block of that cubed, and then 1 block of cream cheese, and then ta-da! I like extra sharp cheddar, and I think I'm going to shred all this up because then it'll give it a really rich cheddar-y flavor. Very cheesy. It'll add that cheesy oomph flavor, right? All right, so that's going to get added to the pot. The burger and the broth is in there. The onions are sauteing in the back. Okay, I'll be right back. So the onions are all caramelized, and I always caramelize them before I put them into the soup, and the soup just gets done a lot quicker. Okay, so there's the onions, and there was 3 big onions, and they shrunk down pretty good. They shrunk down pretty good, didn't they? Yeah. So now we'll put the onions in with the ground sirloin and the beef broth, and then we got to make a roux. Okay, so you got to make like a thickening to add the cheese, melt the cheese in there. All right, I'll be back. I'm back. Okay, this is actually for my daughter. So you make the roux and you use butter. You melt the butter really good and then add some flour. If you can't use flour because you have a gluten intolerance, you can always use some cornstarch and some milk and stir it up really, really good, and then add it to some hot broth or you can add it right to your cheeseburger soup, or you add your cheese to your cornstarch and milk mixture, okay? And melt it, you get it heated up so it starts thickening. Add some hot broth, beef broth to it, and then keep stirring it. Add your cream cheese, add your cubed Velveeta, and then start adding your cheddar. Sprinkle your cheddar and stirring it up. If you need more liquid, you can either use beef broth, and if you use milk, you can use almond milk or regular milk, whatever it works for you. Okay, you just need that thickening agent and help the broth and stuff get a little bit thicker and the cheese to cling to the meat and stuff. Okay. All right, so I'm right over here. I'm actually melting I got my, here, I'll show you. All right, so here. This is my cheese sauce that's gonna be added to the burger broth and the sauteed onions. And I also added seasoning, seasoned salt, a lot of pepper, and sometimes steak seasoning is good in it too. Because you know you put steak, so you'll put like a steak seasoning on your burger. So why not put some in your soup to spice it up a little? And I do. I put steak seasoning in it. I never put A1 in it yet, and I probably won't. So even though I love A1 sauce too, but I haven't tried it yet. You know, if you want it, if you're a guy, you can always add some beer and make it a beer cheesy cheeseburger soup, right? I mean, you could add beer as one of your liquids. I know Rachel Ray likes to add beer to her soups. So yeah, so I'm just basically got this done, and then my let me grab some pot holders. So I'll just show you. This is the sauteed onions and the ground sirloin. And if you want to make a double batch, and I use 2 pounds of ground sirloin, which I am going to add more meat, you add more beef broth. Make sure you get extra carton of beef broth so you got enough liquid if you're going to make a double batch in food prep. So I'm actually making this for, I'm making it for the guys. My guys at the lake, my husband and his friend, they're building a deck. And I'll tell you, a friend in need is a friend indeed, right? We're building a deck, and we got a friend of ours, Pat, he just retired and this last year, about a year ago, and he's bored. He offered to help build it, and I just said, okay, well, I'll cook. So I'm making